Welcome to our weekly maritime video blog. I'm Corey Ransom with International Maritime Security Associates. This week, we're going to be talking about being held hostage at sea. In our video blog in the past, we've talked about different issues involving human rights at sea. We've talked about the Day of the Seafarer. We've talked about just different issues affecting seafarers. We also did an opinion piece where we talked about crew members that have been completely abandoned by the ship owners and their companies. We wanted to focus today on being held hostage at sea. Obviously, the biggest case that everybody here in the United States and different parts of the world remember is the Captain Phillips case, when the Maersk Alabama, a U.S. flag cargo ship, was hijacked in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Somalia, and subsequently the captain was held hostage and then freed by the U.S. Navy. A whole movie was made about that, so that's been one of the biggest and most popular cases. However, there are a number of cases where hundreds, if not thousands of mariners throughout time have been held hostage at sea, whether by pirates or whether they've been abandoned by their owners, or also including people who've been abandoned by human traffickers. So we wanted to just highlight on today's blog, and this is a subject we're going to continue to talk about in the coming year. We are planning to bring experts on to interview people to talk about the different things that are happening when it comes to the overall topic of human rights abuses at sea, whether it's crew members, some cases passengers, people on board pleasure vessels. We want to really highlight some of the things that are happening here to bring light to these subjects so people have an idea of what is happening. And there's also ways for you to get involved. There's a number of organizations out there who work for human rights at sea. One of them is actually called Human Rights at Sea, and we're going to have a link to their website and information down below in the comments section. But these are things that we really need to focus on when it comes to things that are happening in the ocean. These things, when it comes to human trafficking and piracy, have been happening pretty much since the beginning of time. When man first went to sea, these things all started to happen back then. We've seen it happen a lot more frequently here in the past few years. We've seen a huge flare-up in piracy off the coast of Somalia in the mid-2000s. That started to drop off a little bit. However, we're seeing piracy and hijacking happen on the west coast of Africa, also in different parts of the Pacific Ocean operational region. We've seen it happen off the coast of Central, South America, and the Caribbean, and in parts of the Mediterranean. We've seen human trafficking and migrant movements happen in some of the same areas, and the Mediterranean has become news headlines over the past few years because of the number of migrants and people that are being trafficked from Northern Africa and the Middle East into Europe, and that's been a huge problem and a number of issues with that. We've seen human trafficking happen pretty prevalently in the Caribbean. I was involved when I was in the Coast Guard in a number of human trafficking and migrant smuggling cases of traffickers attempting to traffic people into the United States. We see this happening across land borders into the United States and different countries. We see human trafficking also happening in the Pacific Ocean region. So this problem is not confined to one area of the world. And a lot of times, these people are truly held hostage at sea. There's been a number of cases where mariners have had their ships hijacked and have been held hostage anywhere from a few days to up to a few years. There was a couple of cases I read where crew members were held for 3 or 4 years by pirates and terrorist organizations before ransom was paid or before they were saved or were able to escape. These are just unheard of cases of people being held hostage at sea. We've seen thousands of people in human trafficking cases being abandoned or held hostage at sea by the trafficking organizations. We've seen ship owners who've pretty much abandoned their ships and crew, and those people, because of circumstances and legalities of where these things happen, are held hostage at sea. I just read a case where a vessel captain was basically held hostage at sea on board a vessel for over a year before he was finally rescued, where international aid organizations had to come in and help him. So these cases are not just isolated to one place or one area of the world. This is a subject that we wanted to again focus on. We're going to be also talking about illegal fishing and some of the effects of illegal fishing on local economies, and that will be coming up in the next few months. So we want to have feedback from you. If you've ever been involved in one of these cases from a law enforcement perspective, we'd really love to hear from you. If you've ever been involved in one of these from a mariner perspective or from a migrant smuggling perspective, we would really like to hear from you. This is a topic that we would really like to engage with the audience. So reach out to us through our email address, through our company website, through our social media, because this is a topic that we want to continue to discuss in 2018 on our video blog. Thanks for joining us this week. As we discussed in this topic, we'd really like to hear from you. So make sure that you connect with us through our social media that's detailed in the banner above, also in the comments section below. We invite you to subscribe to this channel so you get notified when we put out new videos across all of our topic levels. And also, for every one of these videos you like, make sure you hit that like button. If there's anything as a company we can do for you, from a maritime regulatory compliance, risk management, or you have questions about the safety of different ports, marinas, or areas of the world, don't hesitate to reach out to us and our intelligence experts. Remember, we're always here to steer you in the right direction.